Monifa Jansen and Tiffani LeBlanc.
Yes.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Highly Intelligent. I'm your host, Jared Martin, and today I'm joined by...
Oh, my God.
I did the same thing. Listen, I understand.
It's funny.
I keep mixing them up.
Hello, guys.
keep
Welcome to
reordering.
Highly Unintelligent, and I am your host, HerShe, with Tiffani LeBlanc and Monifa Jansen. This is my co-host.
Jared Martin.
Great. Welcome to the show.
All right.
Wow, good job.
All right. So I guess we can get this started by asking you, how long you been beatboxing?
Well, let's see. I've been beatboxing since 2007, so that would be, 17, and then we carry with the 3 for 2020, so that's 13, and then we add 2 to that, so that's 15 years. Holy shit.
That's a long time.
Oh, my God.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Oh, wow.
Ripe old age.
Yeah.
I can feel my back.
I see. So did you start beatboxing first? Was that like your introduction to the music world?
You know, I used to think that for a while, but the more I actually like look back and think about it, no. You know, so beatboxing was my first love.
I see.
That was my first passion that, I mean, I was just absolutely engulfed and obsessed with, but I actually have been writing music for longer. I remember I was around maybe 10 years old. I wrote a song that I wrote specifically for Britney Spears, and it's called Seduction, and I remember it.
Oh, wow.
But my first song I ever wrote was called Hung Up because I really liked this girl, and she had a boyfriend.
Oh.
And so I was hung up on her. But we ended up dating for 4 years after. She was my first girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was very, very interesting. But yeah, so I've actually been, I recently kind of rediscovered that I've been writing longer than I've been beatboxing. But it goes writing, beatboxing, DJing, and then producing.
So when you were writing, like early on, do you know like any instruments? Do you play like guitar or anything?
Nope. So my parents, they're big metalheads, right?
I see.
So I didn't grow up with like, you know, Baby Einstein.
Yeah.
I grew up with Rammstein.
Oh,
It was very much Metallica, very much all that, 80s, 90s bands.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave me, for Christmas, I said I wanted drums.
I see.
And they were like, absolutely not. Fuck no, you're not getting drums. Not a shot.
Yeah.
And so I think that's also a reason why I started beatboxing is because I wanted to play drums, and I feel like I'm a drummer.
Yeah.
So they got me a guitar instead. And I remember it was like almost like the most ugliest like blue you've ever seen. It's like a sea blue, almost like a green blue kind of blue. It was gross, but it was a Fender, and I was like, "Whoa, all right, sweet." So I tried it. I was strumming it, and then my fingers bled. I cried, and I never touched it again. And then I left it like leaned on my heater, and so it started to like melt and warp and get all gross and.
I see.
Yeah, so I didn't really know, but in school, like in high school, I took piano and piano 2. It was piano 1, piano 2, and the only thing I remember is Ode to Joy from that.
I see.
But I would love to, like, I personally really want like a keyboard, a MIDI keyboard, so I can like use that for music because I'm always clicking and with like notes, and that's so annoying. So I definitely can play a little bit, but like I wish I had something where I can really play around and like make some cool melodies with. So, do I technically play an instrument? Rough. No, I don't. But in the technical world, but I believe that beatboxing is a beautiful instrument.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And yeah. So do I really? Other than that, no.
So from you just starting beatbox and making drum noises with your mouth, how did that turn into getting on stage and battling?
That's very interesting. So I was definitely a performer before I was a battler.
Yeah.
Big time. I always used to go to like open mics all the time when I was a kid. I was underage. They'd slap some X's on my hand and let me go through. So, DJ HerShe's here. I'll get a little through.
Yeah.
So I would always, a big part of where I came from, other than like online videos, I would watch, people like Beardy Man, people like Dougie Fresh, people like Vase Marquis, and Slizzer. I was a big Slizzer fan. And I used to just...
He made the inward tongue roll, right? Like the... I see.
Yeah. That fucking
Solid.
thing, yeah. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, it really boiled down to performing, and hip hop really is what brought me to it. And I've always loved all different kinds of music. I've always been beatboxing different kinds of music, but the hip hop community in Boston, where I'm from, shout out Rec Shop movement. They would always have these open ciphers in subways, and they'd have them in parks. But they had this open mic night that actually they took over from one of my friends, the Dejas, where they were like, this guy Aaron Katz, he was a drummer, and he always used to he was so crazy with it. He would go with all these cool techniques, and I would always go up to their open mics, and we'd have a drummer versus beatbox battle. So I'd start doing some patterns, he'd start doing some patterns. But then when it switched over from the Dejas and to the Rec Shop movement, then they had my friend DJ Slipwax, and he's one of the nastiest like turntablists on the East Coast, hands down. He's won competitions, and so he would always be there. I would get there early and I'd hang out with him, and I'd be like, all right, what are we gonna do today? And so I remember on the fly, like one time, like I took improv in school, and I really think that helped me a lot within like my life, growing up and being a performer on stage. And I remember there was one night specifically, we had the crowd really going, and I said, "Hey, yo, Slipwax," and he was like, "What's up, HerShe?" And I was like, "How about we do table manners versus tongue manners?" And now table manners, that's a community where like turntablists, West Coast, East Coast, table manners, where they would, scratching and beat juggling and all that. And so I was like, all right, you do the table manners, I'll do the tongue manners. And so we'd have a battle. And so what we'd do is I'd have him do, he'd spin a beat, and then I start scratching over it.
I see.
And then I'd spin a beat, and he'd start scratching over it. And then we'd go back and forth and do different combos and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, we're like, who won? And then it would be crazy for both, and then we're like, hip, hop, hip. And then we just go right into it, and then we both start doing it at the same time. They'd lose their mind. It was just like the coolest thing, and it was just like a small underground venue. Shout out to Opus Underground in Salem, Massachusetts. And we'd have like, it was just like long, and they'd have, all you could see, I swear, all you could see was just lights everywhere. It was just the coolest thing. And yeah, I rocked with them for a really, really long time. And that's from there. Like, I didn't have a beatbox specific community, but then I found the beatbox community in the East Coast in Boston, and we created Boston Beatbox, and we'd have weekly meetups and jams, and well, not weekly, but we'd have meetups and jams and all that stuff, and it started growing. And then we found Decoy, and then Alex P and State Street and a bunch of other people, that Devin Gwynn, and yeah. But before I even found them, I found Honeycomb. He was the first beatboxer I ever met. And it's kind of crazy how we met. Is we were both playing a festival just in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. Yeah. In front of a gazebo in a park. I played my set. He came up to me. He said, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm HerShe. Who are you?" And he goes, "Watch. I'm Honeycomb." I go to the opposite side of the gazebo. He's playing, and he's also beatboxing. So I did a beatbox set. He did a beatbox set. And I said, "Who are you?" And he said, "Your friend." And so I was like, okay. And so I met Honeycomb, and then he told me about, he was doing the New England beatbox battle out in Western Mass. And so we got a bunch of the Boston beatbox crew together. And that's where we met Decoy, was at the New England battle. And that's where I met people that I didn't know about, because I was watching beatboxing for a while, but I stopped. And so I missed the whole 2015 era of Napalm and LM battling. So when I met Napalm at the New England battle, I didn't know who he was. I had no clue. I didn't know who. I met Amit. I met Kazoo. I met Kenny Urban. I met Villain, BBK, Chris Solis. I met a bunch of other people at that battle, and that's what really solidified me in the scene, because it was my first battle ever, and I made it into the battles, and my first battle was at the Mitt. And I remember
that's got to be crazy.
Oh, it was very interesting, because I remember Mitt did his thing. He went, he said he was feeling a little sick, and then I went. Napalm was judging, and I was going like but not with a, because I couldn't do that back then. But
Yeah.
And I just remember, like, I used to do those crazy, tongue rolls. I remember Napalm going, because no one knew who the hell I was. And I'm like, who the fuck is this girl, right? And I learned later, BBK and Bill and were like, yeah, we thought you were just a groupie. And so you actually got on the stage. We had no idea who the hell you were. And like, yeah, this girl. But then we're like, oh, whoa, she's serious and she's loud too.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, baby, feel that power. You know what I mean? And so I definitely gained their respect that night. And then from then they became my friends. And it's just kind of like history from there. Once I found it, I fell in love with it. I wish I knew that there was battling in America. I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that. I couldn't find it. I remember Googling specifically beatboxing in America or beatbox competition in America. Nothing came up for me for some reason. I don't know why. None of the flyers or anything like that. I remember seeing like an old flyer from like 2000 and like, I don't know, it was probably the first American Beatbox Championship, but that was like in the past. I was like, it was American Beatbox Festival. That's what I saw. But I missed it, and I was like, oh man, because I always thought I was in Europe and Canada. I used to watch King of the Dot all the time with Scott Jackson and the Korean Effects, that super famous like 2v2 they did, which was awesome. I never knew, and I always wanted to go to Worlds, but I never thought I could because I was so young. But I really wish I knew that there was American Beatbox Championships, because I would have been there in a heartbeat. And
so when did you get affiliated with American Beatbox?
2015, I was affiliated with that Honeycomb battle.
I see.
Then in early 2016, I saw his battle in September. Then February of 2016, I threw my own battle, the Boston Beatbox battle, which is where we saw for the first time King Inertia.
I see.
That's the first battle he ever went to.
Oh, wow.
Because he's from Rhode Island and I'm from Boston. It was very close. So I've known him since the beginning as well. Shout out to my tag team partner.
Yeah.
Tabs, baby.
Oh, yeah, by the way, for anyone who is unaware, HerShe and Inertia just took first place for the tag team American champs. Congrats to them.
Thank you so much.
What kind of preparation went into that?
Oh, it was interesting. So, I mean, me and Rome, I feel like, are very, very good artists. And so we kind of just magic kind of happened on that tour bus, back in the Unity tour, back at Jacksonville, Florida. And, we've been friends for, like I said, a long time.
Yeah.
And we just started freestyling together like we've never freestyled before. Like, we were, like, on the bus for, like, 25 minutes. And, like, I remember, like, they were, like, filming us. And we're like, what the fuck just happened? And so in my head, I was like, are you thinking what I'm thinking? And in my head, I was saying, content. And he goes, yeah, American champs. And I was like, what? I was like,
damn.
Really? I thought I was never going to battle again.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well, redemption arc, let's go, baby. Because, it was wild. So what happened was I met up with him because I was in Boston. And I went down to Rhode Island. So hour and a half drive, 45-minute drive to where he's at, 'cause he's at like the bottom of Rhode Island. And I'm more based in the Salem, or I was based in the Salem area. I was visiting my family because I'm in Chicago now. But we met up, and then we started just kind of like running through some stuff, and we got some like general kind of basic ideas. And then I went back home, and I was like, this isn't enough.
Yeah.
This is enough. I was like, I have to invest in this if I want to win. If I want us to win, I have to invest in this. So I called him. I was like, what if I buy you a plane ticket and fly you out to Chicago for a week? And he goes, fuck it, let's do it. And I was like, okay. So got him a plane ticket, got him out here, and it was so natural.
I see.
It was crazy. We both were saying, like, he told me too, he's like, it's never been this easy with anyone else. Like, it's just so natural. We're just banging them, we're just shitting out routines. It's wild. I was like, wow.
How many did you guys like?
We made 8.
8. I see.
We made 8. We had we had 2 overtimes as well.
I see.
So we had a couple other concepts, but didn't follow through with them. So we had our first round, which was pull up, which actually was a freestyle. That the wild card that we released for American Champs, he was there. Andrew filmed it. It was a 1-take freestyle that we did off of a little idea we had, and that was it. And then we made it in, bing bang boom, baby. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, want to take Jake, let's go.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then we made that, and we broke that down and like properly did it. But the way that we made our routines was a couple different ways. Either one, I'll give you an example. One of the ones we used in the finals, Right Through You. That one was a freestyle. We were driving in the car. He wanted to go get some weed, so we got him some weed. And he just started going off, and I was just listening to him and just really kind of like getting into it. And then I start singing, and I have the recording.
I see.
I'll show you.
All right.
Let me see. Because I was, so what I do to get him is I start recording him when he's not noticing.
Oh, that's how the best recordings happen. If you plan it, they don't come out good.
Mm-hmm. I record him without him even knowing, baby. Okay, let me see now. When did he fly out? I gotta look at my schedule. Rome here, August. I flew him out August 2nd to 9th. August.
And during this week, were you guys just like constantly grinding?
Yeah, we actually had a really good schedule, you know. So it was like we would wake up, chill, hang out. I let him have my room. So
Yeah.
I live with my girlfriend, right? And so I was staying in her room, and me and my girlfriend have separate rooms because my girlfriend is in med school, and she gets up super, super early, and sometimes I'm working until she's going to sleep.
Yeah.
So it just makes more sense for us to have our separate space, and I really like it that way, especially when I'm creating and I have to be loud, or I'm streaming and I have to be loud, and she gets her space, you know? So, which is cool. So he stayed in my bed in my room, and I stayed with my girlfriend. And so I gave him like my computer, let him log on to his Steam so he could play games, and you know, he was on my Discord, and let him do whatever he wanted, and you know, we were having a good time. We were chilling, we were getting good food. So basically we would just hang out for maybe until like around 2:00. It was when we would start working. So if it was a freestyle, we would take that, and then I'd put it in Ableton, and I would like be breaking it down. I was like, all right, how can we recreate it? We had our 2 mics, we had my little interface, and we were just kind of just running the demos. And I have a whole playlist of the demos that we ran, and we ran everything in through Ableton. And so what we did was I color coded every section for structure. And I was like, all right, how can we create different structure for each round? How can we really make the fine details and work and blend our sound super well? Unfortunately, the sound here wasn't the best, so we had to really push.
Yeah.
And like for things like the rapping, for example, for the first day, I really was like yelling because I couldn't hear myself, and the crowd couldn't hear me if I couldn't. So it kind of fucked up the vibe of what we were really trying to accomplish. But this was our playlist. As you can see, American Champions. We labeled it early, so we have all like our demos, and they're just all kind of funny pictures.
Do you wanna play one of them?
Sure, yeah. I'll play. Which one do you want to hear?
Your favorite one?
Oh, I can't pick a favorite. I really like the way the demo sounded for Right Through You, so I'll play that one.
All right.
So that's like one of the really good ones. And then the other one that came out, so nice, was Without You, the second round we did.
Yeah.
In the first battle, and the second part of it.
What you need, set me free. You're all I see is misery. Without you by my side, all my love is died, and I wanna get so high, like it's smoke in the sky. that.
So that one is one of my favorites, where we actually want to turn it into like a song and put it on Spotify. And so I wrote any lyrics that you heard in here. I wrote.
I
So
see.
I wrote Inertia's lyrics for Killers in the Jungle, which is a remake of unreleased Skrillex and Fred Again song. Those lyrics I wrote, and I was like, how do you want to sing them? You know, so
Yeah.
the only lyrics I didn't write was with our bars for No Effort, which is look at me, so clean, no effort. That is a remix of Princess Nokia's No Effort, which I love that song. And I was like, oh, I remember showing that to Rome before he got to my house when we met up the first time, and I was like, I feel like we could, because the intro of No Effort goes, excuse me, you whack ass kids, I need you to know there's no competition, bitch. You can never bitch. You see us, you see me, and you see you. So that's, I was like,
Yeah.
I want to do that in a battle.
Yeah.
So I took that and I used that, and I changed just slightly a couple lyrics here for the chorus, but then every bar I wrote was original after that. And
I see.
yeah, that one was a lot of fun to perform. Pull Up was a lot of fun to perform. So when he was here, when he was in Chicago, that's what we'd do. We would either have it off of a freestyle, which, I mean, I don't need to show you the freestyle.
Yeah.
We already heard it, but we would either do that, or we would just start to be like, okay, we kind of want to make a genre, right? And then we'd kind of build off, what can we do? What sounds do we have? How can we play off each other's strengths? And then, you know, they just started popping up. We would do one a day, and then maybe have a little idea, and then give it a break. So we'd probably do it from like 2 o'clock, and then we didn't go past like probably 5:30.
I see.
So it'd only take us a couple of hours a day, and then
Yeah.
we'd have our time to chill. Because I feel like if you really just force it, and like,
It's not gonna come out.
it's not going to come out good. And if you overwork yourself too. So we said the goal was, he was there for 7 days. We wanted at least a track a day.
Yeah.
That was the goal. And we did that. And then we had our overtimes, which we didn't even get to use, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So,
but we were prepared.
To move on, you said that you went on tour. I believe that these girls went with you. Is that correct?
Yeah, on a Unity tour, yes.
Yeah. So you
I only
guys.
stayed for a couple stops. But.
Would you guys want to talk about the Unity tour a little bit?
Yeah, we could definitely talk about that. Unfortunately, I got sick, you know, the first
Oh, yeah.
couple days I was there. So, you know, I missed out on a lot of it, you know, a lot of the things that was on my schedule. However, you know, the main mission was, you know, everybody getting together and being able to create that music that we created, and everybody was sick. So it wasn't like, you
Yeah,
know, we were spreading
definitely.
germs, so we just weren't feeling well. But yeah, we had those moments. We created, you know, like 50 songs at least on the whole, you know, adventure.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Either started or completed, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And we just met all these amazing people, and we all just really
So what
meshed
kinds
together
of
so well.
places did you go?
Where did we go? We went to Jacksonville. We went to Cocoa Beach.
We went to Atlanta.
Went to Atlanta. Went to Miami. We went to Atlanta. We
You guys went to Nashville, right?
We went to South Carolina, I think, too, or at some point.
Oh, wow.
What stops did you join them on?
So I
Nashville,
was
yeah.
I was for Jacksonville. That's when I got there, and then I flew out of Atlanta. So I was only there for 2 stops.
I see.
But very big impact from those two stops.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
So were you guys like performing at all these places, or was it just stopping and meeting all of?
We had different, like, interviews we were doing and different, you know, podcasts, stuff like that. It was
Yeah.
more, you know,
It's a very creative space. for
creative
sure.
space was the main objective. But after that, it was more like a promotional.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I never realized how claustrophobic I'd feel sleeping in on the bottom bunk. I was like, oh, I couldn't sleep when it was moving.
I
I
felt
was
bad
like,
for the bottom.
I was like, how do people do this, man? Oh my god! Because I feel like with some tour buses, you got like more space because there's less bunks.
Well, the top, I think, I was on the top. It was easier on the top, I think.
Was it?
You know, it
Got
was.
it.
But there was something that you had to, like, really hold on for the sturdiness, you know, because you feel like you're gonna fly off.
Oh
You
my.
don't want to land on the ground.
Yeah,
where you
definitely.
Bunks down. I had a few experiences about, you know, balance.
Yeah.
So what do you think you guys got out of the tour? Because I've heard a lot about what she's gotten out of it, but I mean, not really. I mean, what did all of you get out of this?
You go first.
Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say, you know, it was for the time period it was, the small amount of time it was,
Yeah.
you know, for the amount of music that we created, like, that was, you know, sensational. Like, it was just such a powerful, like, synchronistic,
Yeah, and was
you
it
know,
like
moment.
like she was saying, was it like forced kind of thing? Was it like
No.
constantly grinding, or was it just like?
It was just everybody had their laptop. Everybody was
Oh,
in a
wow.
different little sector.
Everyone was definitely constant grinding, but it definitely was not forced.
It was like
Yeah.
everybody was doing what they would already be doing if they weren't on the road. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
what would they be doing in their home space? Everybody's working. Everybody's getting straight to it. You know. That was
So-
it. You know,
so
everybody had their
collectively,
equipments.
everyone
Everybody
made-
brought pieces of equipment with them. You know, everybody brought a different mic or
I see.
you know, different interfaces. We had things literally collectively, yes.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you just bounce that over, have somebody, you know, do a nice
Yeah.
drum pattern, bounce that over to you. You're gonna boom, boom, pow, whatever.
Yeah. So like, do you have anything that you want to share? Like,
Well, I haven't released anything from that. I can still play it, so I don't really give a F. But yeah, what should I play?
I mean, whatever you feel like you should play. Like, do you have a personal favorite that you enjoyed making the most, or?
It's a good question. I'm gonna play the first one that I see.
I just noticed that security camera is turned right around.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Okay. So,
Naughty.
you know what? I'll play the one. It's really unmixed, but it's fun.
I see.
And it's the one, right? The one that Joe was
Oh yeah.
throwing some samples down in it while he was driving the bus.
Joe got to drive the bus.
At one point, Joe was driving that bus, and he
What
was
do you mean at
throwing
one
out-
point he was driving? No, he was a
I don't think I was
madman.
seeing him driving. I
He
think-
was driving and he was like, "Tiff, come here now. I've got an idea." And he starts singing an Ariana Grande.
Yeah,
we're like,
that's what I'm
"That's
talking about.
Ariana Grande," and he had this he brought the mic to the front of the
Yep,
bus.
leaning it over. The
Oh my god, it was hilarious. That madman. Joe's a madman.
That's that white noise is the best.
That's fucking funny. Really?
Yeah, like you hear all that buzz.
Ooh.
I know you feel it. Something that you got the best in me.
You already know her.
I think that you could be my remedy.
I remember that, yeah.
Can be my remedy.
So, you know.
Me and
bye-bye.
Tiff were
Yeah,
playing
that's-
a lot with the like the vocals on that. I remember that. Oh, that was shit. That was good. I've got a secret. I think that you could be my remedy.
Yeah, that was.
I know you feel it. I think that you could be the best of me.
Okay, so you know what?
Yeah.
We need to record that right after this.
I'm very down for that.
We need
because
to.
we need yes.
We need to add it.
So
to
um,
work with that.
what did you get out of this tour? Like, what did
No, Monifa was not. You weren't on there.
You
right?
weren't-
No,
You
Monifa.
weren't
So
on the
Monifa
tour?
wasn't on the tour. No.
This was
No.
the first time.
This is
Oh,
the first
okay.
time me and Monifa are meeting.
Oh, okay.
Legend
Like,
superstar.
What should I say?
She's like, yeah. Monifa and I have been working together in Miami. We've been collaborating. I've been helping her with her debut project. There they are.
Wait, can you
With her
hear me?
debut project.
Might want to get a little
EP,
bit closer.
you know, and
little
you know,
bit
getting
closer.
her.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I wasn't on the Union tour, so I just joined this time for. We were in Miami recording, and now you just want to check out the
Yeah.
beatboxing championship.
How you guys like it?
What? Yeah. What did you think?
Love. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yo, it was dope.
Well, like I've always sung, I've always done musical theater and
Yeah.
opera, all that stuff. So you know, my voice has been, you know, my everything. But at some point, I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's all these cool sounds and music
Yeah.
with their mouth and whatever? Like, I might not know about
This is for
beatboxing.
me.
Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Definitely.
Sampling.
Yeah.
How do you do
Things like
4
that.
different sounds all at once?
Yeah.
So-
That's
I,
what I'm
That
not
is the cool
getting.
part.
So usually, it's actually interesting. So you can only do about 2 to 3 sounds at once. When you hear stuff like 4 different sounds, it's all just like, it's consecutive. So it's like, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
you're not doing it at once. Going. So it's like it seems like it's all one, but it's really 3 sounds.
And then
in a
you
fast
can
consecutive
layer like
order.
vocals on
Yeah.
top of just like mouth
Mhm.
patterns, and then on top of that, there's
That's-
also like
So if you want to do stuff like that, you know, if I had like if I had a bass where I was like, for example, if Inertia was doing inward bass, he would be able to do drums
He
and
was telling me about
over
that.
it and stuff like
yeah.
that. So yeah, you can. There's a lot of
You're going. I don't know why you're doing
yeah.
breathing air in. So.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
It's like in and out, in and out. So the concept behind that is called circular breathing. You know what I mean? So K Muhammad like kind of started it the best with like we call it the inward K snare, where it's you say K, 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 then it moves over here, and then you breathe in. So the way you do it, right, is you have like
Wait.
no, that's all right. I can show you, right? So you have like if you push your tongue up and make it big, and just breathe on the sides of your mouth. Keep it in. Do you feel it's drying out your mouth a little bit?
Yeah, I know how to do that.
Yep.
When I was a kid, I would
So
do it.
so basically what all what I'm doing is pressure to release. So you the way you create that pressure is you kind of like stop it, and then to release it, you just it's almost like a little bit of suction. It's like it's like stop and then so it's that's a duck sound. That's very good.
Well, I was that as a kid.
So it's
I don't know if that's so weird.
oh okay, Miss Tiff. What the fuck? She just did some crazy
Is that
shit.
weird?
No, that's like a beatbox sound that people like to do.
Always
It's
did
like,
weird stuff like that as a kid.
yeah, that's
That's where a
essentially-
lot of beatbox sounds come from.
See, I can't even do that
What is
sound.
that?
That's
Wait, do that again?
It's like a squeak essentially, the low squeak. You're like holding the air in there, right? Yeah, it's like a low squeak. People do that too, like so. That's another layer sound we'll call. Like if people are doing like chest stuff or bass stuff, they'll like do that and they'll hold it in there, and they'll like squeak it out. But no, do the one you were just doing, like the. Yeah. So hold it in there and then tap your cheek.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we call it like a little meow squeak because sometimes you can say meow with it.
Meow.
See?
Nah.
See, yes, 2 sounds. She just did 2
Yeah.
sounds at the same time. Congratulations, you just hummed.
There's your lesson.
Boom, baby. Look at that. Love it.
But what I was gonna say is like that's the beatboxing is so intriguing to me, and like the RC 505s and the whole process, because like
Yeah.
that's what really got me involved in wanting to produce and engineer, is just because I was like, what else can we do with the voice? Like what can
Yeah.
we do to throw it around the room and make it fly and take over all the space, and like I don't know, that's what
So
really got me intrigued.
how did you get into music? Like the both of you? Like were you just
I guess I've always been a music enthusiast. My family is a big, family. I have uncles that play the piano.
You're from Curacao, right?
I'm from Curacao,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Cool.
it's a Caribbean island, so in the Caribbean music is very essential, it's very big, it's very dear to heart. Everybody plays some type of instrument, and my dad is a guitar player. He is a guitar player, and just
cool.
grew up around it. Loved to hear the different everything, but I was too shy to actually be involved. I felt like I just did the girl thing, just like with the school pageants, stuff like that. And,
I see.
but I've always been like, I like how free people are when it comes to like music and just gonna express themselves in different ways. And for me, it's kind of been like a build up for years already. I've been trying to I didn't know what was guiding me towards it, but I think, I don't know, just wanting to be free, wanting to express myself the way I choose to. And
I see.
and 3 years ago during COVID, I finally decided, you know what, like get in the studio, just go with it. And for me, I'm still scared to
I
actually
get it.
perform.
Yeah.
But it's just been a process of like finally accepting that I want to share something through my voice, a story. I don't know. I feel like music is the most beautiful thing ever. It's you don't have to be rich or poor, any different color, gender, ethnicity, whatever. It's like music is just like it brings people together. And
It's a
just so
language
beautiful.
everyone speaks.
Yeah, I love it. Love music. I just love music. That's why I make it. So.
I see. How did you get into it?
That's all I've ever done.
Yeah.
Sing before I could talk. That whole ordeal.
So when you guys were kids, did you have any like life plans? Do you always
yes,
want to?
I was
Like,
always
Yeah.
nothing changed for me
I
except
see.
the process was a little different. But I was always gonna be a superstar. I was always gonna sing. Always going to just
yeah.
as cliche as it sounds, but like I was so serious.
Definitely.
I still am. And like my biological father was an amazing singer and
Yeah.
DJ, incredible. But I didn't know him, and well, I'm getting deep. I just went left. I put myself there too. But long story short, he's an amazing singer, and like we didn't, I didn't know him. I met him when I was 18. He came and pulled up on me while I was, working at a bar, and just tapped me on the shoulder and this whole thing, and like. He has all of these kids, and I got to see some videos of them. They all sing amazing, so it's
Oh, wow.
it's really a genetic thing, like incredible. I'm talking like they have these tones, these voices. They're all younger than me, 5 of them.
Yeah.
Incredible, and so I didn't know him, but I would always just sing, and I would like wonder what his voice sounded like, or whatever. So it's always just been like a very emotional and important journey for me. I don't know.
I see. So is there any?
That's good.
Yeah. Is there anything you guys would like to say before we close this out?
Chilling.
Final thoughts?
Good
Thank you for having
vibes.
us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Do you got anything you'd like to plug before we get out of here?
Ourselves. I was like,
Shout out Mama for watching me win this weekend. I love you. Thank you so much. Shout out to my girlfriend Leah for watching. I love you. I did it for you, baby. But really, shout out to the boys in Skeetle. I love you guys. I did it for you. Skeetle, baby. Come on now. And thank you so much for Tiff and Monifa for just being dope and letting me like invade their writing space.
Please
and
invade more.
and-
We love it.
and I'm excited to see where the track that we're working on is going, and I do want to give my input. It's just right now I think the energy is just a little bit strange
Yes, it's
for me
okay.
right now. I really want to, but I think I want to get in the studio now and just try to give a little bit of input before I go to bed. So
Yeah.
I think let's get going.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's
do
do
it.
it real
Let's do the
quick.
damn thing.
Before we go, you guys want to say your names one more time because I kind of butchered it.
Tiffani LeBlanc. It's Tiffani with an I. LeBlanc. LeBlanc. Let's get it.
and I'm Monifa Jansen, Monifa Jansen on all platforms. Follow me.
All right,
And I'm Paul.
Paul. All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you on the next episode of Highly Intelligent. And I guess we're all set here. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Just want to let you know I said highly unintelligent at the beginning.
I heard
Just-
it.
Oh, yeah.
Just to be
Oh,
funny.
yeah,
just to be
for
funny.
sure.
Okay,
It was
cool.
funny.
Sure.
Let's make sure you're cool with it.